For your health this morning, chances are you may find yourself sitting a lot throughout the day. I know we definitely do.
Yes, you might be sitting. You might be sitting right now. But this morning we're getting some advice on how to improve your posture and minimize the negative effects that sitting actually has. Tall Trainer Jeremy Biernat here with a chair.
The chair.
Yes.
That you guys aren't going to sit in.
Talk to us.
Thank goodness. We sit way too much.
I know.
Here at work.
All right. So a lot of times we're all sitting quite a bit. And there was an interesting study that came out where they were checking spine pressure in different body positions. And so they found, you know, they used kind of standing baseline is like 100% pressure.
Okay.
Right? So that's full pressure of the spine. And so they checked different things. Like laying on your back was like 25%. So like, ooh, a lot less. You know, and then laying on your side was like 75%. As you can see the graph on there. You know, so tipping forward was like 150%. So it's more. Tipping forward, the weight was like way up there, like, you know, 220 or something. But sitting even without slouching was 140%.
Oh, wow.
So 40% more pressure in the back then. Sitting with a slouch was like 185%. So
that's exactly how I sit.
That is me during every commercial break.
So you're looking at 85% more pressure in your spine when you're doing that.
Oh.
You know, and so you go, so I mean, it doesn't mean like we can't do these things, but we probably should be aware of how we're doing it and how often we're doing it, because there could be some pretty big problems that show up from that.
And I feel like when you have back pain, the first thing you think of is, oh, I got to sit down. I got to lay down. Something like that. Turns out it's actually not going to help.
Yeah, it's not going to be as good. I mean, walking is a wonderful thing for us to do. Get up and walk around a little bit, getting some blood flow, getting things moving around. If you are sitting, you know, and especially if you already have back pain, you know, you need a moment of relief. A little bit of recline does help. You know, so that is a little bit lower pressure level than even a straight sitting up and down there.
What can we do to improve our posture then?
I mean, there's several exercises that we can work on. One is just walking. Just getting up more often. You know, it's like, so like, you know, now like some people are like camp out, they get in a good flow at work or something like that, and they nail like hours in a row. You know, and you're like, you know, like you want to try to get up more often. So I tell people to drink a lot of water, so you have to get up to pee more. You know, it's like,
that's fair.
At least it interrupts you more often. You know, just getting up, and because like, you know, mom used to say, you know, like if you keep making that face, it's going to stick that way. You know, it's like, well, if you keep holding that posture, it's going to stick that way. And so it's hard to do with your face, but it's easy to do with your body. You can get stuck in certain positions. So if you are stuck from sitting, you know, one great exercise is to do like a little lunge next. You can use the chair a little bit for support, but the big thing is this back leg is really stretching and opening up there. So I'm getting a lot more range of motion into there, you know, because, you know, when you're sitting, all of that is bottled up really tight.
What is that doing though for this?
Not too bad, you know. So really, like when you how is strengthening this going to help with your posture? Well, as the looser we are, like as I say, if I have really tight hamstrings, you know, so I'm sitting here with tight hamstrings, they're going to be pulling on my back and rounding my back a lot more. So the more flexible I am, the easier it is to actually sit with good posture. If you are sitting, you know, so I sit with like, you know, feet underneath you more. If your knees can be lower than your hips, you got a better chance of keeping the back straight. As soon as you go here, especially you kick out like in a car or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So hard to keep the back straight. So hard to keep the back straight while you're doing that. So trying to minimize some of those things. But then upper body stuff starts to become a problem too.
Yeah.
You know, so we end up looking like little trolls or something like that. You know, like it doesn't work good. You know, so you know, squeezing down, squeezing back, opening up posture, you know, are really helpful things, because sitting does more than just, you know, hurt our back. You know, there's some immobility, like our knees, you know, take a beating from sitting because they just don't get the flexibility and use through the hips. The hips get locked up, and so the knees end up doing more. The lower back ends up doing more. You have more problems with that. You know, there's a depression, really, you know, related to sitting a lot. You know, so getting up and moving around, our cardiovascular system starts to really decline. You know, a whole bunch there. So we're, you know, it's you know, the more we can move around, the better. You know, so like you're looking at about 2.5 hours of even just light walking per week is one of the recommendations there, because like even that does something, and some people don't get anywhere near, you know, that much walking, and they're just getting to the, you know, to the bathroom and back or the car and back, and it's not nearly that duration there.
I think about it all the posture thing all the time, being told as a kid, stand up straight, stand up straight.
Yeah.
And then a stranger actually approached me about a month ago and said, you need to stand up straight.
Oh, somebody said that to me too.
Yes. And I was like, okay, I guess that's going to continue. So I guess rules to follow. Where can people go to learn more? Tell them the website.
Talltrainer.com, and there's a lot of resources that we have on there. And if you want help, individually working on posture, we can definitely help you out with that.
Good
Perfect.
stuff. Thanks so much, Jeremy. We have local headlines coming up next.